Hello everyone, I'm Musical Daredevil and I am currently out in the middle of nowhere. Well, actually that's not quite true. I am sort of somewhere, and that somewhere is the Ursulaku camp, which is where Kaius told us to go in order to figure out what's going on with this whole Nervarin prophecy thing. However, there's a bit of a problem in the Ursulaku camp. See, these guys are the Ashlanders I've talked about in previous videos, and these guys are ultra-conservative. They've been sort of banished out here to the middle of nowhere, and they really hate Outlanders, like our character here.
I can already tell. I'm not going to like this.
You can see that this guy doesn't really like us at all. The good news is, you'll remember from the last quest where we had to go gather information, that these guys really like a thoughtful gift. And this guy right here really loves Kwama eggs, which I just so happen to have on me. And I just give him a Kwama egg, he likes us a little more, I can give him a bunch more, and that like us bar just keeps going up. Unfortunately, I'm out of Kwama eggs now. Still a bit hungry, even though I just gave him 4 Kwama eggs. Those things are pretty big, you've seen them before. The good thing is, he now likes us enough to tell us what to do next, and that is to speak to a guy named Zabamund. And from there we can talk to the more important people in the camp. So let's go find Zabamund. He's in one of these yurts here. There he is. And this guy doesn't like us a whole lot either. However, his thoughtful gift is gold, and we have lots of gold. So we can just give him some gold. And then we can make a little bit of progress. Oh, but first looks like we have to give him even more gold. I still have a lot of gold though, that's not a problem. And now I can speak to the head of the camp, who is in his yurt right next door. This guy right here is Saul Matul. He is Morrowind's leader and a very important person in this game. And what he says is that we can go speak to the wise woman after we pass an initiation rite. What is the initiation rite? Well, we have to go to the Ursulaku burial caverns, and he actually uses the word fetch here. We have to fetch him his father's bow. Now, the burial caverns are pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. You can't really get any good directions to them. There are a bunch that are just sort of roundabout. But now we just head off into this awfully barren and typical Bethesda brown landscape. And we should find it somewhere out there. And seriously, like a good half or more of the continent looks like this. I'll probably fill you in on a little bit of the plot too, because after this quest is over, we're going to get a very big plot dump. And so I should probably at least let you know as much as possible so that you don't get confused. A couple quests ago, we got a book called Progress of Truth, which talks about the Dissident Priests. And the Dissident Priests talk about a number of texts they've acquired, a number of prophecies, and they've been reading up on the Ashlander texts. And they say that there is a major difference between what the Ashlanders have and what the Temple has. Most notably that the war hero Nerevar, who is supposedly the guy who's going to be reincarnated as Nervarin, was killed through the treachery of the 3 gods of Morrowind. And I am going the wrong way. And it's just hard to get lost here. Okay, I think that cave is where I'm trying to head next. Oh wow, I actually managed to go right there. I was actually trying to go to another nearby cave first and then head here from there, but this works. I've actually never managed to do that before, that's interesting. So here is the Ursulaku burial caverns, and all the way at the end of them is the bow we're trying to get. Now off camera I got a frostball spell, not like a fireball, it's a frostball. And it doesn't cost nearly as much mana as the fireball spell, so it's nice for smaller creatures like that. This skeleton right here is going to need the fireball spell. I'll probably take those arrows too. They weigh a lot, but they are also worth a lot. Okay, there should be another skeleton somewhere around here. And there he goes, just like the first one. I'll take those other arrows, I can only care so much. Next up is this jump right here. And we have to jump across this. There's no way around it to get to the other side. I'll probably take care of my health before heading over there too. The good news is the boot spawning speed make this not much of a problem. There we go. And right before we head in the door, there's another skeleton. And I'm out of mana. I think these guys resist the frostball spell too. Okay, fireball it is. And I lost all the health I gained from that healing spell back there. That's just lovely. Oh, swords is it? I can deal with swords. I have a sword too, you see. I am an awesome swordsman, see? And now we have stepping stones. Stepping stones are fun, and I missed the first one. Oh well. We don't actually have to use these stepping stones. We can just head over to these rocks here and on to the other side, and we can avoid the whole stepping stones entirely. That back there was a fork, and more often than not, I usually choose the wrong way. I actually had to look up a map of this place before I came out here so I wouldn't keep going the wrong way and make this video longer than it needs to be. Now this room right here is very, very tall, and as you might suspect, we have to go all the way to the top of it. If the jumping physics work in my favor. There's quite a bit of very nice loot in here, but I'm not going to grab it right now, especially because I would need to levitate to get, and I'm not going to use my levitate potions on just regular old stuff. There are also a couple of skill books in here, and I'll probably find them at some point. All the doors off to the side lead to more rooms that have loot in them. Nothing terribly significant though. And is this the top one? No, it isn't. This all just looks the same, all this brown. Okay, I think this is the top right here. And off to the side of the top is the one thing I'm going to grab from this dungeon that we don't need. And it is right over there. All I need to use is levitate potions, and I will use the nice one, I'll use the not as nice one. And here it is, a set of glass greaves. Very nice, much nicer than the bone mold I had before. You can see there, armor 16. That's not as good as this stuff. Right in here is the Juno burial, that's where we have to go. I'll say before I go in there, because I have died in there a few times before. Alright, now the important question. Do you guys like skeletons? Because there sure are a ton of those in here. Here's one right now. Nothing useful on him. I think there's an archer at the top there somewhere. I'll probably just wait for him to run down here. It'll probably be best. Because it's hard to get him up there. Is he coming? Hello? Okay. Now the way to go is off to the side right here. And I think there's a skeleton somewhere in this hallway, but I could be wrong. Oh, that spells useless against skeletons. Why did I do that? No, I don't think there's another one here. But there are plenty of them across the sledge here. Grab more of the enchanted arrows. And there should be a skeleton in here. There he is. Let's wait for him right here. Oh, look, there's another one. I can deal with 2 skeletons at once, no problem. See, not a problem. I love area effect spells, don't you? I'll probably take their bone marrow. It makes nice telekinesis potions. I'm not sure, there might be even more skeletons back here. And there's loot there. That weighs a bunch, and I already have a ton of enchanted arrows anyway. I don't think there's anyone else back here. And that stuff's totally worthless. I will take that now. Anyone hiding back there? No, no one hiding back there. Alright. Here is the boss of this dungeon, just a regular old wraith of whatever that guy's name was. And he is carrying the bow. He doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot though. He's kind of casting random spells at us. Probably drink a potion though. Oh, he's draining our stats. Look at that. Good thing he didn't drain his strength too low or else it'll get really annoying. And there it goes. Uh-oh, he's in the rock. Good thing I can access his corpse though, or else that would be really bad. Okay, and I think one of these statues on the end also has something nice on them that I'll grab before leaving. And yeah, it's this one. He's got a soul gem in there with a scamp soul in it. And if I can reach it, I can get a nice amount of gold for it. Although I have those telekinesis potions, I think I'll just use one of those. And I can just grab the soul gem from down here. Yep, there it is. And I can talk to the mummy too. And he has telekinesis ingredients on him, so I didn't really lose anything after all. And now I have a mark right outside the Urshulaku camp, so I can just recall there and not have to wander all the way back. Now I just walk right up to Sol Matul and speak to him. Doesn't suspect a thing that we now have these green greaves, which mysteriously match the ones in there. And he lets us go talk to Nibani Mesa, the wise woman, who is also a very important character. And her yurt's right over here. Now I could talk to Nibani Mesa right off the bat, and then bribe her to go talk to us, but that would break the game and make everything really glitchy, so I didn't do that. And now here is a very big text dump. We have this paragraph with a whole bunch of links in it to a ton of different things. And I'm not going to read these out loud to you guys because that would be boring and you wouldn't want to sit here through all that plot stuff. But I will link to them in the thread, and I also have the links to them in the video description so you could read them on their own if you want. They are kind of important, but we can still just go on to things anyway. So now I'm just going to press the make progress button. And she says that unfortunately we are not the one. But we might become the one at some point in the future, maybe. But she doesn't quite know what to make of it. In order to figure out what's going on, we need to seek the lost prophecies among the dissident priests. And it just so happens that we know someone with an inroad to the dissident priests, and that is Maramilo over in Vivek. So all you have to do is find lost prophecies, then Nibani Mesa can also figure out what the hell is going on. And she also gives us a couple texts, the stranger and the 7 visions, which I'll also link in the video description. But for now, all I have to do is just head back to Kais and get out of this very barren, brown, middle of nowhere landscape. I'm Musical Daredevil, and I will see you guys next time.